Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. Now, I haven't really done one of these videos in a while, where I just sit down and look at an upcoming tournament really from Japan, but this tournament really did catch my eye. I just thought it was unique and worth sharing. So this is the City League, yeah, I'm not going to grace everyone's ears with trying to pronounce that name, but this place, there was an event which took place today actually, the 19th of April, but basically, I thought this tournament was really interesting for a number of reasons. Now, the biggest reason is that there's virtually no Dragapult in this event. There's like one deck in top 16 that's Dragapult, which is, it's surprising. It's a fun change. But we've also got Dipplin in first place, which is really fun to see, my boy. Budget Dipplin in first place. So yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, of course, with that Festival lead attack, allowing it to attack twice if you have the Festival Grounds Stadium in play. And typically, Dragapult would just absolutely wall out Dipplin from the meta, but the new Shaman that's coming around in Destined Rivals will protect your bench Pokemon from the effects of attacks. So this deck finally has a proper answer to Dragapult, and I think also having the maximum belt A-spec to increase your damage by plus 50 to Dragapult also does help quite a bit as well. So that's really cool to see. Also playing the Rillaboom, which was actually a suggestion that was left on my Dipplin video, the one that I did fairly recently. Someone suggested using this Rillaboom. I completely agree now. I do think it's kind of necessary. It definitely gives you a nice time against things like Charizard as well. So definitely consider Rillaboom if you're building Dipplin. But honestly, if this deck ends up being pretty good in the new format, then now would be a good time to pick up all the pieces because it's still like fairly cheap. Like I found most of my Dipplin stuff in a bulk pile anyway. That gives you an idea of how cheap this stuff is. But yeah, Shaman I think will definitely be a big deal, and it's nice to see Dipplin win an event. Obviously I'm not saying Dipplin's going to be an S tier deck when Destined Rivals comes out, but it's still really cool to see it take an event. Also got Grimmsnarl here, which is I feel like that's a bit of karma for me ranking Grimmsnarl so low on my like top 10 Pokemon EX ranking of Destined Rivals. Let's see if we can have a look at this Grimmsnarl list here, which to be honest, I didn't think Grimmsnarl was just that impressive. Like stats wise, I just it just doesn't do it for me. So this card, for those of you who don't know, okay, won't show an English translation. But basically, all it says is when it evolves up, you can search your deck for like up to 5 Dark Energy, I think it is, and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon any way you like. And then for 2 Dark Energy, you do 180 and then 30 Snipe. And this deck is also taking advantage of Monkey Dory because, it's quite easy to just charge up the energy to yourself and then you can just manually attach to Monkey Dory when you need to. Also got Frostlass for some extra chip damage, and you've also got spread damage. But, Shaman is still a thing, in this format, so I'm kind of still surprised that Grimmsnarl as a pseudo spread deck is kind of taken off. Also got a Clefairy in here over Budew, which is nice to see, spice it up a bit. As for the list itself, it's it's still playing like plenty of items and things. So you're not that worried about Budew. Now, what does Spikemuth Gym do, actually? I'm just going to load it over here and see if it loads up. Like, I should have loaded the translation, so that's what I should have done. Once during each player's turn, that player may search your deck for a Marnie's Pokemon. Okay, so it's basically just an Ultra Ball, or a Master Ball, I guess, for this deck. Every turn for, like, Grimmsnarl. I guess that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's like a Grimmsnarl list, which is interesting. There's also a Zoroark list in third place, which is kind of cool. I'll leave a link to this tournament down below in the description. Also got a Charladon Dubwool. I wasn't aware this was a deck. Maybe I'm just a bit clueless these days with the format, but I wasn't aware Charladon Dubwool was even a thing, so that's cool to see. Actually, we can take a look at Zoroark. We'll take a look at the top 3. Most people would do top 5 or top 8, but I do want to take a look at this other City League quite quickly as well. So third place was Zoroark EX. Is there anything new or crazy in this list? I think this is all pre-existing cards, because I feel like I've seen this list already today, actually. Open as image, might make it a bit easier to see. No, I'm not seeing anything new from the latest set. Okay, so nothing new from Destined Rivals, so if you were looking to play this exact list, you'd be able to pick up everything right now, which is kind of cool. Seems fairly standard, nothing too crazy here. The Mochi is still kind of cool, though. I do think the Poison build is fun. So That's nice to see. We'll have to give this one a go. Yeah, as for that, pretty interesting tournament overall. This other City League I thought was kind of interesting. Like, yeah, Dragapult and Gardevoir in the top two, which are kind of like flavor of the month right now, I guess. But we also got some more interesting pieces down here. Like, we got Mewtwo Spidops in 6th place, which, being a new deck, I will definitely take a look at it. Goldengo Dunsparce, and then Crobat Frostlass, which I'll probably round out the video with. So, Team Rocket's Tarantula and Spidops. So, basically, if you don't know how this deck works, Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX can only attack if you have 4 or more Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. And then the attack for 2 Psychic and a Colorless does 160, and then you can discard up to 2 energy from your bench Pokemon, and you do 60 more damage for each one. So Spidops can charge up an energy to itself, basically. So you can discard it with Mewtwo. So that's really helpful. Also got Team Rocket's Persian EX. Can't think why this necessarily needs to be in the deck, apart from like thematic purposes, because I don't think the card is particularly great or anything, but interesting enough to see. Team Rocket Sneasel is an inspired one. It's kind of like a pseudo gust effect in a way, because you're kind of just finishing off a Pokemon that's already been damaged. It's on the bench, so that's kind of interesting. Team Rocket's Wobbuffet, can heal a Mewtwo fully. That's kind of cool, but again, not something I would expect to see in every list. And then Team Rocket's Mimikyu, I do think should be an inclusion in this deck, just because it can copy any Terra Pokemon's attacks that's in your opponent's active, which is, quite scary. Yeah, a whole ton of Team Rocket support in this deck. 4 Proton. Actually, I'll get the image up. It's a bit easier to view. Open as image. Open Sesame. So there we go. That's much better. So 4/4 line of Tarantula, 4 Mewtwo, 1/1 line of Persian. Seems very cuttable, to be honest. 1 Sneasel, a Wobbuffet, and a Mimikyu. So all Team Rocket's Pokemon. And then a ton of Team Rocket support. So 4 of multiple of the trainers, 3 Giovanni's, 2 of the one that's kind of like if one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon were KO'd during your opponent's last turn. Then I think it is you shuffle, draw 5, and your opponent shuffles, draw 3, which is kind of cool. Then the receiver item, which says search your deck for Team Rocket supporter. That's nice to see. Also got 3 of Team Rocket's Factory, 4 of Team Rocket's Energy. Really cool to see this, to be honest. Like, I'm not sure about this particular list, but if you're looking to try out Mewtwo in testing, maybe, then this can give you like some good pointers on how to put one together, because it is kind of cool, right? Like, I do agree with most of this lineup. Like, I do think you need Energy Switch as well, just because, charging up Mewtwo's can be a bit awkward. And if your opponent just randomly KOs one out of nowhere, then I can imagine that's going to get really awkward very fast, because Mewtwo still technically needs 2 energy to attack, right? You still need Team Rocket's energy plus a basic. So, yeah, Mewtwo seems really cool, but, again, it is a little bit awkward to set up. Also got some Bravery Charms in here for plus 50 HP, so taking advantage of that already mammoth hit points. Yeah, that's it for Mewtwo, and there was one more list I want to take a look at here. Actually, I will take a look at Ceruledge, because that's definitely a deck that's fallen off from graces. I can't remember calling Ceruledge a rogue deck, and then someone came at me in the comments and was like, yeah, no, that's not a rogue deck, and I was like, okay. But like, the thing is, this deck has fallen off so much since then. It's like, it's kind of a shame, really. Like, losing Raiden Greninja was huge, so maybe I just need to re-release Ceruledge and call it a rogue deck, and I'll get away with it. But yeah, it seems to have fallen from grace quite a bit. But what does this list look like, actually? Wait, 3 Mist Energy? Was that just for Dragapult? I guess so. Open as image. And we'll see what this list is cooking. Okay, so like nothing too crazy. Like, I guess Tatsuguri's interesting. Klefki's a bit weird. Like, you don't really see Klefki all that much now. Rigid Band and Cycling Road. Okay, Cycling Road is kind of cool. It's kind of like a pseudo Pokestop from the set 151. Like, you get to discard an energy and draw a card. So that is kind of cool, actually. Yeah, Brilliant Blender, still the best ace spec for the deck, really. So yeah, interesting lineup for supporters, actually. I do think this is quite cool. We'll be up for giving this a go at some point. It's also not playing any of the Destined Rivals cards, so like you could just play this right now if you really wanted to. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see. And then the last list that I do want to take a look at here is a Crobat Frostlass deck. So is it this one, or is it the one above it? I think it's that one. Sorry, I'm like looking at the screen from an angle here, so it's kind of hard to tell. Will we load here? Thank you. So yeah, Team Rocket's Crobat. I'll just open the image so it's much easier to view. So yeah, Crobat EX, kind of spicy really. I'm looking forward to this card. So it's very reminiscent of like the old Crobat decks that were like really good from what I remember in like the XY days. I don't think Crobat was around in black and white. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the Phantom Forces Crobat that was really good. So yeah, Golbat, when it evolves, you get to place 2 damage counters anywhere, and then when Crobat evolves, it's 2 damage counters to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, and then your attack for 2 Dark Energy does 120, and then you can discard all of the cards attached to it and return this Pokemon to your hand. So you do get to like keep the Pokemon, as far as I remember from that wording. But you do lose like the Team Rocket's energy, which is a bit of a rip. But aside from losing your Team Rocket's energy, hence why you only played 2 of them in the first place. But kind of interesting to see. Also, 3 Kofu has just caught my eye. I tried Kofu in a deck recently because like there was this Japanese list that was playing like 2 Kofu, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a go. But honestly, I really, really did not like Kofu. I did not gel with it, so maybe I'll have to be more patient and wait for a different list. But yeah, aside from Kofu, this is a cool list. Like 2/2 line of Frostlass, kind of expect that, although it will kind of damage your bats, but they're all kind of fragile as well. 310 HP is relatively fragile, just speaking, because like once this thing gets damaged, then Frostlass takes in like, I suppose you have Monkey Dory to heal them a bit, so that's cool. And you kind of just be item locking your opponent for most of the game with Budew. So I guess you just hide behind Budew walls and then just set up Crobats on the bench and Frostlass. Also got Maractus, which can I imagine he is in here for that kind of like boss stall win condition with corner, I'm guessing. And then Shaman for some extra bench protection. Honestly, a really cool list. Unfair Stamp makes a lot of sense. Like, your Pokemon are so squishy, so that's cool to see. TM Devolution for some cheeky plays. Gravity Gemstone, I'd imagine that's for some additional cheeky plays against, just using Budew, actually. Yeah, Gravity Gemstone seems pretty cool. Also got Artisan to help you get set up. Yeah, seems like a really fun list, to be honest. I'm just not going to get over Kofu. It's just such a weird card to use. But yeah, that's honestly a really cool list. It's fun to see. Also got some more of these Frostlass Grimmsnarl lists, which are really cool. So that's fun to see. I don't think there's anything else new or interesting from these tournaments. I've also just realized I've gone and like removed the other tournament tab. Anyway, that's fine. This was supposed to be the end of the video anyway. I don't want to make this video unnecessarily long. So yeah, let me know what you think about these results down below. Do you think the format looks new and exciting? To be honest, it's not as interesting maybe as I thought it was going to be, but it's also just early days. It's like the first few days literally of this format in Japan, so it is still very much early days. I'd imagine this will get a lot more interesting. So yeah, stay tuned for more news, and yeah, thank you for watching.